I'm Johnny Vegas, and you're listening to KopTalk with Dunk. And all you other Liverpool sites, just stop embarrassing yourself, alright?
Yo, what up? This your boy Smooth, straight from New York. You're listening to KopTalk Podcast. Remember this, you never walk alone, but if you fuck with us, you walk with a limp.
Alright guys, how's it going? It is Friday, the 14th of July 2023, and you're listening to the KopTalk Podcast in association with footballclubshares.com, where you can buy real shares in real football clubs. I've no idea if it still works, that website, by the way. No, it does work. That's my website, footballclubshares.com. But the theme is broken on it. For some reason, it's not displaying properly. And listen, most people that know me know that I previously bought shares in football clubs. Not that might sound flash, like I'm talking 20 quid, 30 quid, something like that, just in Juventus and some of the not Spanish, Italian clubs, just to have an interest. Do you know what I mean? And because I never knew you could do it, and I honestly thought people might appreciate the ability to do that. I do get a kickback from it financially, obviously, but as you know, I don't go around promoting shit like that all the time. It's just a little side hustle for me, and I genuinely like to have an interest in other leagues, and sometimes that's what I do. I don't do it to invest or make money, but rather than give William Hill or Ladbrokes 20 quid, I usually chuck it at some shares or something like that. So footballclubshares.com, if you're wondering, is my little side hustle. But I don't really do anything with it. I think I only mention it on the podcast. I don't think I mention it on the videos ever. Anyway, how are you doing, guys? You all right? Listen, I promised you an episode yesterday, and I attempted to record the podcast yesterday for you twice, and everything went wrong yesterday. I recorded a video about 40 minutes long for KopTalk TV about Jordan Henderson, and then the podcast I attempted twice, and it just wouldn't work. And I stormed out of here. Honestly, I did. I stormed out of here where I record these episodes for you, and I was like, right, I'm going to get a drink, fuck it. And then I sat outside with my cuppa, and before I knew it, the heat out here at the moment is unbearable. It's like tipped today to go to 45, 46, maybe even higher. And I was just really hot and fed up with Liverpool yesterday. I'll be honest with you, Liverpool news, speculation and that. So I went to bed. I did something I never do in Spain. The Spanish do it. Oh, they're in bed, them lazy fuckers, every afternoon. But I was like, nah, fuck this, I'm knackered. I only had an hour and a half, something like that, about an hour. And then I streamed in the afternoon, which I'll be streaming today as well, through 3 o'clock UK, I think. And, or was it 2 o'clock? I can't remember. 2 o'clock today, I think, UK. And I just had a little nap. It's just everything went wrong yesterday, guys. And what I mean by that is just some of the topics were just like, I know you might not understand, and I don't expect you to. But when you're caught up in it, all the topics all of the time, they can bring you down, honestly. The ownership's for one. Like some people say to me, do you want to talk about this? I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't. I don't fucking care. And yesterday it was all Henderson. And then when that stuff came out yesterday about the LGB fucking T plus whatever they're called, having a go at him saying, it's disgusting that Gerrard's gone out there and he's gone out there. It's just like the politics of it all sometimes gets a bit too much as well. And, whether you believe me or not, I love everyone. I like everyone. Do you know what I mean? I don't have a problem with anyone. And I really don't care. I'm not that kind of person in life that would ever, be prejudiced or, not like someone because of the colour of the skin or their sexuality, anything. It just doesn't bother me. It doesn't interest. I have opinions on everything, but I would never. No, I don't have opinions about disliking people, if that makes sense. So, it gets to me, and I just think, hang on a minute, John Henderson can do what the fuck he wants. He doesn't owe you anything, and I understand and I sympathise with these groups. I really do. But for me, this is the point I'm making, right? So whatever side of the fence you're on with your opinions with things, the point I'm making here is I just want to watch football. I don't want to see people taking a knee. I don't want to see people wearing a rainbow armband. It doesn't anger me, right? So don't go the other way if you're on that side, because you see people going, why would that bother you? It doesn't anger me. It doesn't particularly bother me, right? Each to their own. And I support both of those causes. Fucking course I do. Why would what human being wouldn't want a fellow supporter that was in a minority to be represented and to have a voice. For me, it's about when it's virtue signalling, when it doesn't feel real, right? So it's the same when the TV coverage, the football coverage is on TV, sorry. Like, if there's a woman in the studio on merit, because of who she is, right? There are some really, really good women, what's the word? What do you call them? Pundits, right? But sometimes I feel like they just put someone in just to we've got to do that. And it devalues that, if that makes sense. And the point is, even the fact that I'm having to explain this to you now is so draining to me. Because if I turn around, if you turn around and pass a comment or an opinion on anything these days, you're immediately put into a category. So away from football, if you say, this immigration's getting a bit too much, them lot coming over on them dinghies, there's nothing wrong with saying that if you live in that country and you think it affects your community. But people will say, you're just a racist. If I turn around and say, oh, God, she's on the fucking commentary on the football, I can't be doing that. She's doing me fucking head in. Squawking voice. It's, you're just sexist. No, it's not. I'm not sexist. I believe in equality. But sometimes the voice is a little bit annoying, right? And it doesn't stop just at women, right? Because Jonathan Pearce, for example, male football commentator, just as fucking annoying as a woman. Do you know what I mean, guys? So please don't hold back with your feelings for being worried that someone's going to put you into a particular category. It does my head in, guys, honest. And, of course some of these countries, have got backward fucking thinking or whatever, but I don't live in them countries. I don't know what to believe. I don't know. But the point is, we all as individuals, you and I, you individually listen to this podcast. There's probably something in your life that troubles you, right? There might not be, and I hope there isn't. But there might be. You might have a relationship problem. You might have a health problem. You might have a member of your family or a friend that's got a problem. You might have I don't know. We've all got shit going on, me included. So to me, football is an escape. Like, for an hour and a half, 2 hours on a weekend, or whenever the fucking game is, I just want to watch the team. And that's all I want to see. That's all I want to know. I don't really give a fuck about your personal opinions when it comes to those categories, whether you are, a KKK fucking member or whether you, which I obviously would rather you would, but what you believe in is your choice, whether it's right or wrong. It's not for me to be condescending and to tell you, well, you're not a good fan if you support this. Jordan Henderson's gone out there, or he's going out there. Let's say that they're saying he's going out there. Nobody knows. I don't know. Maybe at the time of this is finished recording, there's a confirmation somewhere. Steven Gerrard has. Well, if you support it's none of your fucking business what Steven Gerrard chooses to do. And it's the same when we've got these discussions now, top Reds, FSG out fucking mob. All of it. It's just becoming all like tetchy and argumentative about it all. And yesterday, all the subjects were about Jordan Henderson. So, and possibly going out there, and the conversation that goes with that, and everyone having a fucking opinion because of social media. And it just drains me, guys. And on top of that, from my point of view, trying to run the website, things were happening so fast with Jordan Henderson yesterday. So I could record a video to you, like probably when you're listening to this podcast, something's changed, right? So I could record a video or record a podcast or write something on the members website. Within 15 minutes, someone's got a different opinion that you should listen to. So then it's like, well, that video is obsolete now. That podcast is obsolete now. I was nearly crying out of frustration yesterday, guys. I felt overwhelmed with it. I can't remember a day like that ever in KopTalk's history over the last 25 years. I can't remember it. And what I mean is, imagine writing up an article, right, for an hour or 45 minutes, or talking about it verbally or in a video, and then hitting stop, and then at the end of that you come off and you look at your phone and go, oh fucking hell, that it's changed now. So everything you've just done is now like pointless because you can't put out something that's outdated. And you're then like, okay, I'll do it again with the new information, what we now know. And you do that, and the same thing, like 15 minutes into the second, it's oh fucking hell, it's changed again. So yesterday I was just like, I can't do it. For my mental health yesterday, and I am not someone that fucking claims that shite, you know what I mean? Like, I'm one of them people in life that's like, whenever I feel sorry for myself, I always think, well, there's someone worse off than me somewhere, so I try not to feel sorry for myself. But yesterday, I was fucking ill with it, and I had to take a step back. today I'm all right. You know what I mean? Apart from I've got tummy ache today. I've not been very well today. But I'm all right. And, you know, like, this is why, you know, there's people I agree with, align with certain issues to do with the ownership of the club. But I don't want to talk about it every fucking day, every episode, it's like, well, what we're going to do about it? We can't do anything, right? This is the situation. So, I don't know. Maybe it's social media. How do I shut off social media when I need social media for the website? It just gets a little bit too much. Anyway, excuse me. I do apologise. So, there'll be no Saturday night streaming this weekend. I'm out with my lady friend. So I won't be doing that. So I just thought I'd mention that to you. Okay, guys. So I do apologise if I'm whinging and that. I'm just trying to explain to you, like, you know, I would never take the piss and go, oh, I'm going to do a podcast and then not do one because I'm bone idle. It is genuinely because I didn't feel I could do it for you, and I did feel like I let you down. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see what we can talk about. I absolutely do not think that we should talk about the latest situation regarding Henderson and Fabinho, because things are moving so fast that I think by the end of this episode it will be outdated. So we'll just, generally speaking, I don't think Jordan Henderson wants to leave Liverpool personally, but conversations have to take place. People have to be real, and you also have to be real if someone's offering you $700,000 a week. I would rather keep him in the squad, and Fabinho as well in the squad. Fabinho, losing him, a great player, you know what I mean? It's like, what? And it all just smells of FSG. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you got two players there, 40 and 10, 20, whatever, 60 million tops. Just happens to be about the same price as Romeo Lavia. That's how people think. That's what I think. But the thing is that I've been saying to people, and this is what I want you to consider, right? If these players are sold, or one or two of them, or whatever, right? Something good will happen next, because they can't just allow those players to go. So if they bring in, you know, Romeo Lavia, who I really want to see us sign, he's like my favourite sort of, like, people say to me, who would you really like to sign? Of course, there are players, you know, that are a lot more expensive and talented and more experienced I'd like to see sign. But from a realistic point of view, I'm like, I would really like to see this kid, Romeo Lavia. I've got a feeling he could become, you know, a really good player and a favourite of mine, you know. So we will see signings, and I think then we'll forget about this drama to do with Henderson. I don't like the way that it'd be sold, and he didn't get a chance to say goodbye to the fans. So if that does happen, I hope that he's given the opportunity to do that at some point. And do you know what? And I said it in my video today, because my video today was ranting about this Henderson stuff and the pressure being put on him by these groups, you know. What was I saying? Oh, that's what I was going to say. We talk about what we want from players and we want them to care. I tell you now, if Jordan Henderson is sold, he'll cry. Everything I've heard about Jordan Henderson suggests to me that boy will cry when he leaves Liverpool Football Club. It means a lot to him if he leaves, all right? So we've been linked with Lavia. Caicedo, again, Talk Sport are saying that we could challenge Chelsea, but, you know, the valuation of that player is probably why we have not been anywhere near him this summer. There's been a suggestion that Borussia Mönchengladbach midfielder Manu Kone could still be attracting interest. This has come from German journalist Christian Falk, who said that we've been previously talking about Manu Kone, for example. He had a knee injury at the Euro Under-21 Championship, so it will take time, as he can't pass any medical tests at the moment. So this could be a topic that will be interesting for English clubs like Liverpool. Schmatke, that's our boy George, has an eye on him. So these are things in the background that George is doing at the moment, and I would believe that. You know, if I remember rightly, Kone was the one that we sat down with first before Thuram. So, you know, imagine getting someone like Kone, Thuram, Lavia or something. We have like a really fresh, you know, younger looking, exciting midfield. You know, we can talk about how great a servant Jordan's been and Milner, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, we're talking about the future here, guys. And these sort of players excite me. I don't know about you. Thiago is another one that's been linked with an exit. He's been linked with Saudi Arabia, but he's also been with Barcelona. That there's suggestions out here in Spain today that Barcelona are not interested in doing that. This is not coming from anybody that I would associate with. I don't know. So I'm only telling you what the papers and the people here are saying in the media. Kelleher, he's been linked with a move to Wolves. I'm sure you guys will have seen that over the last 24 hours. The suggestion is that £20 million would be required to make that happen. So we're not sure about that. Whether we would get 20 million for him. Levi Colwill, a lot of speculation surrounding him. It sounds a very difficult deal to happen. He's a great centre back. But I just think it would take a lot of money, and it could. I just think there are other people out there that I personally. I like this player, but Inacio, for example, back in February I was told that we might have a sniff around him in the summer. Not really seeing any suggestions about that. Although I don't know how deep you go with what you read and monitor, but I watch a lot of things for you guys, and I don't know if maybe it was Monday or maybe the end of last week. There were some reports in Portugal saying Liverpool were sniffing, and that it could be easy for him to make it happen. I think there's a release clause there as well, which is something that we obviously have taken advantage of this summer. So I'll have a look, generally speaking, at, if there's anything come out towards, if anything else comes out while we're recording, I will have a look and let you know before we end. Let's just take a look at today's mainstream media gossip. Al Ali. Oh, listen. Let me just mention this. Preparing a £30 million bid to prize Algeria winger Riyad Mahrez, 32, from Man City. That's The Athletic. Mirror. City boss Pep Guardiola is set to hold talks with Mahrez amid the interest from Saudi Arabia. While Le Parisien in France say that Chelsea are monitoring the situation of Brazil forward Neymar and could make a move for the 31-year-old if he decides to leave PSG. The Athletic say Saudi Arabian club Al Ittihad are set to make a $40 million offer for Liverpool's 29-year-old Brazil midfielder Fabinho. The Guardian say Liverpool and England midfielder Jordan Henderson has accepted a lucrative deal from Steven Gerrard's Al Ettifaq. Sport, Spain. Spain midfielder Thiago Alcantara could leave Liverpool and make a return to Barcelona this summer. The Mirror, Liverpool might meanwhile move for Southampton's Belgian midfielder Romeo Lavia. Sky Sports Germany, Aston Villa have made their first bid for Bayer Leverkusen's 24-year-old France winger Moussa Diaby. The Mail say Villa are also interested in Nottingham Forest and Wales winger Brennan Johnson, 22. Fabrizio Romano, Mo Salah, he says Manchester United are closing in on a deal worth £43 million plus £4.3 million in add-ons for Inter Milan's Cameroon goalkeeper Andre Onana, 27. The Telegraph say Tottenham will offer England striker Harry Kane, 29, a new deal worth more than £400,000 a week in a career after he stops playing to keep him at the club amid interest from Bayern Munich. The Standard, Tottenham have joined a list of clubs interested in 20-year-old Chelsea and England under-21 defender Levi Colwill, who has yet to sign a new long-term contract. The Athletic say Man United's cash plus player offers for 20-year-old Denmark forward Rasmus Højlund have been rejected by Atalanta, who want a full monetary payment. The Athletic, Arsenal are expected to reject a €2.5 million bid from Turkish side Besiktas for 27-year-old English defender Rob Holding. The Standard say Chelsea and England winger Callum Hudson-Odoi, 22, is attracting interest from Crystal Palace, Fulham and Newcastle. And Nottingham Forest, sorry. I don't know why I said Newcastle. The N, I guess. 90 min. No, I'm not reading from that shite or Football Insider. Right, Mail. Liverpool's Republic of Ireland goalkeeper, with Keller, we've mentioned this already, has emerged as a target for Wolves, as their Portuguese keeper, Jose Sá, has attracted interest from Forest. Sky Sports, Leeds and Denmark defender Rasmus Christensen, 26, is set to join Roma on a season-long loan, and that's according to Sky Sports. I don't have any emails to go over with you, but we can have a little look at, see if there's any rumours floating around the internets. Let's have a look at the KopTalk members website. Where are you listening to this podcast? I mean, this podcast is available to everyone, right? Yeah, look at me. I don't even know. That's how tired I am at the moment. No, this episode is available to everyone. But we have subscriptions now on on Twitter. Subscriptions are available on Twitter now to select accounts at the moment, and I have got subscriptions on there. So you can become a KopTalk member now via, Twitter, by the @KopTalk account. You can do it on Facebook, you can do it on Patreon, whichever platform you prefer, all right? So I just want you to be aware of that. And I've also got the Church of Dunk. Look it up, thechurchofdunk.com. That will take you to my personal Twitter account where you can connect with me a little bit more privately about everything, about different things. I put little videos and things out on there, and I've got some really cool people subscribe to me on there, more than on the KopTalk account. So that's really cool. What you need to be careful about Twitter is, I don't know if you've been monitoring this, but Twitter is going to allow revenue sharing for content creators. So you can have an account on Twitter. This is what's coming, right? It's going to be rolled out. And the first bunch of select content creators were getting their payments, like notification. You say, oh, you've made 20 grand, 10 grand, 5 grand, whatever. And people are going to be paid by the amount of comments underneath their original tweet, right? So because there'll be adverts within the replies, right? So when people browse down, them adverts are displayed, right? So what you're going to find, and this is just my opinion, it's a hunch, don't think it's rocket science, is that the more people tweet, the more money they're going to make, right? And the more controversial or the more bullshit, catchy stuff that they put out there, the more money they're going to make. So I think you're going to see eventually an increase in even more shit on Twitter. So if you think Twitter's bad now with these so-called ITKs, imagine when they're monetized. They're going to be fucking posting everything. And, people will be saying all sorts of controversial shit to do with Liverpool just to get more, interaction. So I want you to bear that in mind. It will come, guys. It will come. It's coming. All right? It's already out there. There are accounts monetized already. I don't know what about in the football community. I haven't got that. Twitter to me is not a big deal in terms of the news I put out there. I just want to update my members and the people that support me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not interested in being one of these fucking accounts that post all the guff just to sell affiliate stuff. Betting commissions and merchandise. I mean, I saw one Liverpool account today on there saying, "Can't believe Liverpool is selling this shit top." Something like that. And then they had a link to the top to buy it, but the link was hidden behind one of those forwarders like tinyurl.com, and you click on it, but you don't know where you're going until you reach the destination. So it's just like, I just don't like practices like that. I just don't like it, guys. I'm old school. I'd make an absolute fortune with KopTalk if I deployed their tactics, but it's not for me, guys. Right. Morning, aren't I? I'll read this one to you. On Thursday, Tutto Sport, this is Italian, stated Crystal Palace have made a new bid to sign Pesky after Roy Hodgson expressly indicated that he wanted the Torino star this summer. It was also stated the Premier League have offered the defender a deal worth €3 million net per year. Blah, blah, blah. Tutto Sport state the Turin club don't want to be blackmailed and are waiting for the right offer between 35 and 40 million euros to let go of the centre-back in this window. They have already rejected proposals worth 30 million euros. And Liverpool, as you know, are said to be in the picture. All right, Liverpool are said to be... Well, that's what it says in this article. I'm going to rephrase that because I don't want you to think I'm saying that. In the article, it says Liverpool and West Ham, are also in the picture. What I should have said is you may have seen that Liverpool have been linked with him. And I think that's a bit of wishful thinking on some people that rate him. Like, oh, what do you think? Do you think Liverpool could go for him? And other players as well, I want you to keep an eye on Inacio. Like, I just feel that he'd be a great signing for us and might be a bit easier than some of the others. But I tell you what, guys, although it's been a confusing summer and we're supposed to be having a rebuild and we seem to be reading more about players going out than coming in, just keep the faith a little bit. I'm not going to defend these owners, but, I'm trusting the situation at the moment. I'm not flapping. The FSG out people, many of whom are my friends, they're going crazy, but I'm not in that situation just yet. Maybe, I don't know, maybe at the end of the summer, maybe I'll be fucking raging and ranting lunatic, I don't know. But at the moment, I just don't believe that they can sell so many players and not bring players in. So for me, I just keep thinking, well, there will be some positives, and I'm going to stick to that. Right. Members website, where are we? What they're talking about? They're talking about Fabinho and Henderson. This is the VIP members website. I forget to say that sometimes because we have now KopTalk member, which you can be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, that gets all the videos, all the audios, all the text shit and that. But we have the VIP members as well, and that's a separate thing. So you can join and become a KopTalk member on YouTube, but also join the VIP members website. They're separate things. And it's very good on the members website, VIP members website, because we have some great contributors. So it's all about personal preference, though. And there is a lot going on there today, a lot of discussions about the Saudi stuff, obviously, Henderson Fabinho, Shoes, Per Shoes, or however you pronounce it, Inacio. Let's have a look at Inacio. This is going to be interesting because, this is Rich T71. I like Rich. I've met Rich. He's a great lad. Very, very switched on with the finances side of things to do with the club and bidders and potential sales and things like that. Always look for him in the comments on my YouTube videos if you watch them. Rich T71. He's currently in Lisbon. He posted a couple of days ago. He says chatting to a big Sporting Lisbon fan, a taxi driver, and he says thinks we're going to sign this kid. Know nothing about him, to be honest, but I've seen Dunk mention him. That's a little discussion. And someone's put here the most recent contribution to that is, looks like the journals have been briefed he's not a target. Strange one, that. So we've just got the usual, discussions underway that you would expect in any Liverpool community. Okay, we're going to give a shout out to the squad. These are the people that support my podcast, right? And these people are extremely important, and they're very patient as well. They don't moan, they don't cry, they don't sulk. These people make this podcast happen, and I like to acknowledge them. You can support this podcast by going to www.KopTalkPodcast.com, and for the cost of a coffee once a month, you can become a supporter of the podcast and have all the adverts removed. Listen to the bonus episodes when I do them, okay? Which they're done from time to time, the ones where I want to keep things a little bit more quiet for various reasons. So I want to give a shout out to what I call the squad. This is the squad. So I'd like to thank, for example, Ricky Harris. I'd like to thank Liam Buckland and James Braid, they're supporters of this podcast, as are Wayne Brown, Vincent, Tom Brown, TG, Simon Digweed, Phil Walsh, Mark Bingley, we got Jimmy, we got Jamie, we got Harry, we got Hamza, we got Glyn Taylor, we got Aaron O'Dowd, and then we've got the members. All right, the next lot are KopTalk members, so they've joined via Patreon, the membership, which gives them more things, Tyler Dean Williams, Paul MC, Matt Meeker, James Lee, Jack Wood, Jack Rudgley. We've got Dave Kelly in there as well, and Clint. We've got Big Wave Dave and Andrew Evans. And then we've got the legends. This is the top tier now. This is the top tier. We've got Michael Couchman, David Sutcliffe and Adam Naylor, who's a great Liverpool YouTuber, and someone that I consider friends. So that's what I call my squad. Thanks to those of you that are in the old legacy tier, the fan tier. It's no longer available, but those guys are still subscribed to that. So while they keep that running, that's available to them. So that's about it, really, guys. I don't like memberships. I don't like subscriptions. It's just advertising doesn't pay like it used to do when I first started KopTalk in the 90s. It just doesn't. And that's why I've got all the clickbait and why I visit some of these websites and they're plastered in adverts and you can't fucking read them. And there's fucking auto-playing videos and pop-ups and all that. You don't get that with me. Do you know what I mean? So this is the way I choose to do it, where people can optionally support if they want to. Me, I don't want memberships and fucking shit like that. It does all my, it's not fair and I just don't like it. So, but I've got to do it. If I don't do it, I don't pay the bills. So thank you very much to those of you that do support me, that are in a position to support me. www.KopTalkPodcast.com. And if you want to really make my weekend, go to KopTalk.com and click on the VIP membership on the right hand side. Right, guys, that's your lot. I will try again next week to get more content on the podcast. It's the one thing that I'm struggling with at the moment. Maybe I need to get up earlier in the morning. I get up at 7 usually. I start at 7. Maybe I need to get up at 6. I don't know. But I'm here for you. And don't forget, if you are a patron of the podcast, obviously if you're a KopTalk member or above, make sure you've got the app, make sure you listen to the ad-free episodes. I've posted something on there today, an email I received about, what was the email about? Or there was some stuff about Lavia, for example. So that's on the VIP members website. It's on YouTube, it's on Patreon, it's on Twitter, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you listen, I've always said before, if you email me, podcast@koptalk.com, you put me under pressure to make an episode, because I'm not going to ignore people. You know what I mean? So consider that. If you like the episodes, it's a great way of supporting the episodes, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I really do appreciate the support. I'm going to do a live stream this afternoon. Won't be live Saturday night. But make sure you follow at KopTalk Podcast on Twitter and Facebook if you enjoy these updates. Okay, guys, please take care. Have a great weekend. And just keep the faith for a little bit longer, all right?